surviving parent was a West Texas farmer, and he had never made over $60,000 in his life. And she was afraid if she made more money than he did, that he wouldn't love her anymore. And the love was much more important to her than the money. So as soon as she got to that level, she stopped. And I said to her, I'll call her Susie. I said, Susie, what do you think? Will he really not love you at 61.5? I mean, come on, what can we do? She decided she would call him. She called him. She said, Dad, I want to make more money. I want to know what you think about it. He said, oh, honey, I'm going to love you no matter how much money you make. Make $200,000 a year. Fly me to, she was in Wichita Falls. Fly me to Wichita Falls. We'll go out to dinner. We'll celebrate. It's just fine. So she got new permission. She and I stopped. We were finished. She felt good. Life went on. I ran into her a year later at a party. I said, Susie, how you doing? What's happening? She goes, well, Pat, I'm doing great. I have a brand new boyfriend. Things are going well. I said, well, how about the money? She said, well, my first commission check for last year was $15,000. That year, she made $150,000. Yeah. I told her if I'd had a higher deserve level, I would have charged her a commission. She broke through her own barriers, all right? This is their stories, but you have your own story. We all have barriers. We all have resistance. We all have a place that we hit and we stop. And that's where we need to break through. So to give you a taste of what that is for you, I want you to have an experience here with me today. I'd like you to close your eyes. With your eyes closed, you take a few deep breaths, get real comfortable. And I'd like you to focus on those two goals that you have, those two very important goals that you have for yourself. And I'd like you to pretend that you're talking to your father. Whether he's alive or not alive, it doesn't matter. I want you to bring him into the room, pretend he's here, and I want you to tell him those goals. And I want you to listen to what he says to you about your ability to make those goals happen. Now I want you to bring your mother into the room. Tell her your goals and listen to what she says to you about your ability to make those goals happen. Now I want you to bring a significant other, husband, wife, best friend, somebody important to you. Bring them into the room, listen to what they say to you about your ability to make your goals happen. Okay? Open your eyes, come on back. Now, if you were in my head, one of my goals was financial. From my mother, from my father I heard, you can't make that much money. You're a girl. How do you think you're going to do that? From my mother I heard, atta girl, Pat, anything you want to do. You can do it. Go out there. You've got the smarts to do it. You can make it happen. So I have what's called a mixed message. And it depends on what side of I'm listening to. I'm in sales just like you are. You think I sell mental health. You think chocolate is hard. Try selling mental health. If I'm listening to the part of me that says I can do it, I make the calls, I line up the business, I talk to the meeting planners, I get these wonderful speeches set up. If I'm listening to the part of me that says I can't do it, I file, I dust. If I'm really depressed, I vacuum. But I don't do my business. And I don't think I'm any different than any of you. When you are at home, when you are listening to your own movie, if that movie isn't moving you forward, it is holding you back. And as we do this, we self-sabotage. These messages that we hear from our past, while some of them are wonderful, they've gotten us to where we are, other of those messages are holding you back. Now, what you have to remember is that most of these messages were internalized before age 5. So if you haven't updated them, you have a 5-year-old running your business. Now, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't let a 5-year-old do my hair, I wouldn't let a 5-year-old drive my car, and I certainly don't want decisions I made at age 5 to be telling me what I can do and can't do in my business right now. So the challenge then becomes, we've got to update these messages. We have to be able to change them. Because if we don't, our lack of permission will hold us back. It will tell us to not bother the neighbors. It will tell us that we can't make more than X amount of money. It will tell us not to do this or not to do that or don't try this. And those messages are the cripplers in terms of our business. So what I want to do now is I want you to take a moment with your new best friend. And what we have done is we've gone over the 4 components that create your deserve level. Your belief system, okay? How much positive you have, how much negative you have, in terms of your beliefs about your ability to make your goals happen. Your level of self-esteem, your level of self-confidence, and then your permission from your past. Do you have permission to be successful? Or do you have a part of you that's holding you back? And if so, what part is that? So what I want you to do right now with your partner is I want you to talk about, of these areas, these 4 areas, where do you want a breakthrough? Where psychologically do you need to update? Okay? And where do you want to have more? So which one of those areas is holding you back? Which one do you want to change? Okay? With your partner, go ahead. You share, they share.
Excuse me. We're supposed to be sharing with our partners. What would the things be that would hold you back from being a double lineman? Only myself.
You know, maybe your wife not wanting to make that much money.
She wants to make that much money too.
If she does that, you know you're on the first new car and you're going, you really about that?
A new car, a new home, helping 200 to 300 other families do the same thing.
That's the neat thing about it. You helping others along your level.
Can help 200 to 300 other families doing the same thing.